after an attack, a drive-by shooting or something terrible like what happened in Connecticut, it's very important that you focus on how the child can feel safe. For example, children will say they don't want to go to school because they don't feel safe. And you might ask questions like, well, who or what at school helps you to feel safe when you are there? If parents are freaking out and they're saying, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to send you to school because it's too frightening, and they cling on to their child and hold them tight and say, you're not safe any place, so mom is going to keep you home from school till this whole thing blows over. That's not healthy. You want to explain to your child, first of all, that's rare. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen at their school. It's not that it's impossible, but that the school is taking precautions to make sure that never happens. And you can ask them who makes them feel safe. So I was actually talking to a mother after the Connecticut massacre because the children in Long Beach where I live were very affected, even though it's on another coast. And the one mom said she asked her son what makes her feel safe, and she goes, well, there's this really fat security guard at my school. He always sits at the gate, and he doesn't look like he could run very fast, but he has a gun, and he also makes sure that the gates are always locked and that nobody gets to come in without passing by him and showing an ID. So the security guard makes me feel safe. And then she said, and how do you know you feel safe when you feel safe? Where do you feel that internally? And he said, usually my belly settles and I feel okay. Very different than a parent telling their child that that might happen to them too, and they're not going to send them to school until the entire thing is out of the papers because the mother's frightened or the father's frightened also. So it's very important to help them to see the reality of this is a rare occasion, and that in the olden days they didn't even show this in the newspaper or on television. Also, to do blackout with the television and not let young children watch this on the news or listen on the radio. It's hard enough for adults to hear this kind of news. So one of the biggest things you could do is don't expose your children to the news.